Hey, and welcome back. Oh, excuse me. I'm a little gunky right as I'm getting started. Hey, and welcome back. It is Livemas 2, Electric Boogaloo. If you're watching live, welcome. So glad you're here and you could join me today. Let me know in the chat what you're working on, what you're enjoying. I'm enjoying coffee this morning. This is, but yeah. And if you're watching on replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. And if you're interested in skipping around, I will have timestamps down in the description box after the live stream is over. I always after live stream put in timestamps so that, you know, if there's something particular you want to get to or skip past, it's easier to do. But welcome. I'm very excited about today's Livemas for Vlogmas 2022 because it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Yes, I am live streaming on my birthday. And today it's going to be another kind of just chill live stream for this low-key chill holiday that I'm having. I'm going to show you I have a finished object to show you. I'm going to show you a whip that I'm going to be frogging that's related to my finished object. And we're going to see a tale of two yarns. Yes, I'm going to show you the difference yarn selection can make in the success of a project. I have some progress on the hat that I showed last week, so I'll show that to you as well. And then, yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing for Fasten Off Yarn Along, which is related to my finished object as well. And my next project I'm going to be casting on. Then what else? Oh, I'll show you the patterns I did end up purchasing for the Fasten Off Yarn Along. And there was something else I was thinking about talking about. Oh, I'll show you my birthday present. I'm going to show you a picture of my birthday present. It is craft fiber related. And yeah, and we'll just chat. I have a couple of things I might talk about. I don't know. I haven't outlined this live stream. I'm being super chill about all of this. No pressure. Hello, Bear. Welcome. So glad to see you. Thank you for the happy birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do. So I haven't mentioned the YouTube things. I realized last week after the live stream that I forgot to do all the YouTube things, like hit like, make sure you're subscribed. Affiliate links are down in the description box if you want to help support my channel. It's greatly appreciated. Any super thanks or commissions I get from affiliate links go towards supporting my channel. So thank you so much. And I think I hit all the YouTube things, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. All right, so yeah, let's just jump in. Let's just jump in today and let's start with a whip, okay? Let's start with my whip, my hat. This is Snapshot by Knitty. I actually purchased this pattern during last year's Fasten Off Yarn Along. I'm making this for my husband. We've been together for a really long time now, so I figured it was time I actually knitted him something. I've never knitted anything for my husband before. It is a stranded colorwork hat. This is the inside of it. I am working this hat inside out using Portuguese knitting technique, which has been a really fun experience, but I will turn it right side out so you can see what it's looking like. I am now at the crown shaping. I have finished the color work, but there it is. There's the color work, all complete. This, I will say, has been a challenging stranded color work because you can tell just by this that there are long floats on the back. So to manage those floats, I've been using a new technique to me called ladder back jacquard. I'm gonna probably do a whole video about this for next year because it's a really cool technique for managing long floats. I think I like it the best of any technique that I've tried before. But yeah, so now I'm just at the crown shaping. I'm almost done. I have maybe a dozen rounds to go to finish it. I would have finished it this past week, except I started my Fasten Off Yarn Along project and got sidetracked by that. So yeah, that's my whip. So yeah, very much enjoying this project. The whip I'm going to frog and the finished object are related to each other. So let me show you that. So I'm going to actually bring this up. So last week I looked at a whole bunch of patterns with you guys, and I forgot to turn on screen share before I started. I just need to, there we go. Allow. Okay. And there we go. There it is. So this is Against Winter's Chill. It's a headband project. I really like doing something like this for the Fasten Off Yarn Along because I'm guaranteed to finish before the Make Along finishes. If you don't know what Fasten Off Yarn Along is, the Fasten Off Yarn Along is a off Ravelry alternative to the Ravelry Gift Along. And so there's a discount period where designers have their patterns available for 25% off. That discount period ended on Wednesday, and then people do a make along, and there's several platforms it happens across. They are on Instagram, they're on Twitter, there's a Discord that you can join if you want to take part in it. And hi Samantha, thank you so much. Thank you for the happy birthday. So yeah, there's a couple different ways that you can take part in the Fasten Off Yarn Along. They have prizes, they have games that are online throughout the event. It's a lot of fun. I haven't been as active in it this year just because I've been so busy with work, quite frankly. Oh my God, my work. Guys, I would really love this to be my full-time job. I'm not gonna lie. Because my current career is exhausting. But anyway, so this is the first project that I was working on. So when I started the project, I'm going to just go back to this. Yes. So when I started the project, I started shopping my stash for yarn. I haven't been totally shopping my stash this year, but I have been trying to shop my stash this year. Oh, do I have another sheet? I don't have both colors here. I only have one. Anyway, I came across these 2 balls of yarn that I got from Hobby, which it's Hobby 100% Highland Peruvian yarn. It's rated as a DK weight, and the pattern Against Winter's Chill called for DK weighted yarn. And so this is the green color that I got, but I also got this red color. I just don't have a ball of it in front of me right now. And I had the bright idea of why don't I go ahead and do this where I would have the edge of the project worked in green, and I would do the middle cabling in the red and have intarsia mixed in with it. And I've done this before with headbands, and I really liked the result of it. So I thought, oh, that would be a fun way of doing it. Well, I did start it, and here it is. This is the start of me trying to do that. And this I'm going to be frogging because I started it, and it does sound cool, doesn't it? Hey, Bear. Yeah, it does sound cool. And I love the color combination. I absolutely love this color combination. And I am going to be doing something with these 2 yarns in a color combination. It's just this Against Winter's Chill project is not going to be it. The problem I realized, and I was concerned about this when I decided to give it a go. Oh, yeah. I was worried that this red color was going to be too dark for the cables to show up, which I think you can tell is the case. Yeah, I'll show you the back. That's the back of it. It's just intarsia. So there's the back. And you can't really see the cables, right? And some of that is because of how dark the yarn is. Some of it, though, I think is the quality of the yarn itself. Not as at quality as in how good the yarn is. It more of the characteristics of the yarn itself. This yarn is rated at DK, and yet it is a very light DK. I would actually say that this yarn is probably closer to a sport weight. I did a reps per inch, and the reps per inch did come out to 14 reps per inch, which according to my card Falls in the DK range, but this yarn is really light. So I was like, I don't think I picked the right yarn for this project. As much as I love the colors and everything, I just don't think this project and this yarn are what it's meant to be. So I switched yarns and I switched it to this yarn. This is a discontinued yarn. This is, I think, Debbie McComber Cherry Blossom. I'm remembering off the top of my head, but it's rated as a DK weight yarn. Really lovely. I used this yarn actually last year, my Fasten Off Yarn Along Tunisian crochet project, but I finished the headband and look at that. Look how this appears now with this yarn versus this yarn. Night and day. Like, you can actually see the cables. The cables are actually popping out. The texture is all there. It looks squishier. It's a little funky here on the edge because of how I did this. But yeah, so this is the headband. Here, I'll get even closer so you can see. There you go. You can really see the cables now. Yeah, right? Yeah. Right? Way better. You can totally see the cables now. This yarn is just more appropriate for a cable project than this yarn is. So here's the difference yarn can make. Again, some of it I do think is because of the color of the yarn. This yarn is just too dark. I probably should. I'm worried now that I don't have enough light on me. You know what? I'm going to pause. I'm going to be right back. No, I'm going to just go with it. Never mind. Forget what I was going to say. Yeah. So part is I think the yarn is too dark, but I also think the problem is just the characteristics of these yarns. Oops. This yarn, if you look at this yarn, okay, I'm going to try it. This yarn is just fluffier and squishier. The twist on it isn't as tight. And so I think this yarn just lends itself so much better to doing cables than the hobby yarn does. Because the hobby yarn, I mean, it is, the hobby yarn is noticeably thinner and less fluffy than the gray yarn is. And the twist is a little tighter on it, I think. So I do like this yarn. Don't get me wrong. I liked this yarn. I've liked knitting with it. The color is beautiful. I just think that it wasn't the right project. And it just goes to show how tricky yarn substitution can be. Because, like I said, according to the ball band, these are both DK weight, and yet they're clearly not the same thickness of yarn. This yarn is definitely thicker than this yarn is. And that's one of the reasons why when you're doing a yarn substitution, it is a good idea to swatch if you're doing a larger project, because you want to figure that out before you cast on hundreds of stitches or thousands of stitches. I mean, this was a little headband, right? I finished this, I knitted this in a couple of days. So no big deal that I'm having to frog this back, like whatever. But if I was doing something larger, like a sweater, the pain that would be. That being said, Against Winter's Chill, this pattern. I did enjoy this pattern, working this pattern quite a bit. The cables were pretty easy to memorize how to do. This is one of those cable patterns. It's something I love about cables, which is all of this is basically 2x2 crosses, mostly left-leaning crosses. There are some right-leaning crosses. The most complicated thing about these cables is that some of them travel across the purl background, but really not terribly complicated cable pattern to do. Let me bring up the picture of this one. And so it's one of those fun things I think with cables is sometimes like for cables, it looks complicated, but in fact, it's just constructed of very basic cable crosses. The thing I will say about the pattern is I did make some adjustments. Well, I didn't make adjustments to it. I did some substitutions to personalize it more. One was the cast on. It didn't indicate any particular cast on for this pattern. But whenever I do something like a headband where I'm knitting something flat and then it's going to get joined in the round like this, I like to start with a provisional cast on. I actually usually use Judy's Magic Cast On. Yes, you can use Judy's Magic Cast On as a provisional cast on. And those underside loops that are created, I just put on a stitch holder while I knit everything. And then when I get to the end, I do a Finchley graft to join both sides together, and I get a nearly seamless finish. And then, but you don't have to do it that way. You could start with a provisional bind off and then do a 3-needle bind off if you wanted, or a zigzag bind off, or, you know, anything. You can do it, anything that you would do to seam, you can use to seam. But I like doing it with live stitches as opposed to a cast on and a bound off edge. Of course, if you wanted to with something like this, you could just do a normal, your usual cast on, do a bind off, and then sew the two ends together. But I like a more seamless finish for these type of things, especially because then I don't have a seam line that's like rubbing against the back of my neck. So yeah, so that was the first thing, is I did do a provisional cast on to start this. The other thing is, you can see it starts with a bit of garter stitch, and then you get increases to get to the full width of the project. The project called for make 1 increases, and I went ahead and substituted knit front and back increases instead of make 1s. And the reason I did that was because where the increases are is in a area of reverse stockinette where everything was purl, or it was going to be in this garter stitch border area, right? And I just felt like knit front and back really works well for that type of situation, because the bar that's created when you do the knit front and back just totally blends in with all the purl bumps that are going on in the reverse stockinette. So it just blends together beautifully. You can't see the increases. Like, well, you're probably not going to be able to tell on camera anyway, but you really can't see where the increases are. So it just looks like it's growing like magic. And I love that. I love when increases are super discreet. So I did that. And those were the two kind of things that I brought to this pattern. If you're interested in this pattern, I'll say it's pretty well written. There are both charts and written directions for the cables. I use the charts because I really like working off of charts, but there are written directions. I'll just say that the layout of the pattern is different because it gives you the chart and all of the written directions for the cables before the very last page is the actual directions for starting the pattern, which was unusual, I thought, in terms of a layout. And I used Knit Companion once again for this project to track my rows as I was working charts. And one of the great things that I really like about having Knit Companion now is I can basically change the layout of a pattern to something that I like to look at, which I'm becoming, guys, a miracle has happened. A freaking miracle has happened because I have been a dedicated analog pattern reader, meaning like I print out the pattern. I like having my piece of paper. I write notes all over it. It gets all crumpled in my project bag. And I've just been very analog about this. But because of because of this project, the color chart for this project was really long, like really long. And it just wasn't practical to have it like printed out. So I got Knit Companion just to deal with this pattern. And I am a convert. I don't see, especially if a pattern has charts in it, I think I'm going to be using Knit Companion to do it and have the pattern on my phone and use Knit Companion. Let me know either in the chat now or down in comments if you're watching on replay. Let me know if you want me to do a review of Knit Companion because I've got a lot of thoughts about it. I got thoughts. Most of them are good thoughts. Most of them are very good thoughts. But I have thoughts. One last thing I wanted to talk about with this project. A little kind of product tip for all y'all. I mentioned that I did a provisional cast on. I used Judy's Magic Cast On to do that. And the reason I like to use Judy's Magic Cast On as a provisional cast on is because when you use Judy's Magic Cast On, it creates an equal number of loops on either side of that cast on edge. And that means that when you go to join everything back in the round and do your grafting or your whatever to seam things, you have an equal number of loops on both sides. It makes it very easy. Makes it very easy. The thing though about using Judy's Magic Cast On is you have live loops right away. And so those live loops I hold on a stitch holder. Here's what I used for my stitch holder. Do I have it down? I use this. This is silicone. Oh God, what's it called? It's silicone. It's hollow. It's a hollow tube. This is actually used in jewelry making to go over like a wire, like memory wire, and to make bracelets and stuff. But you can use this in knitting. And in fact, there's a place on Etsy that's selling this basically. I forget what they're calling it. I'm totally blanking. I did not do my research properly. My bad. But what you can do is you can take this because it's hollow and you can put it on the end of your needle thusly, right? And then you can just slide your stitches onto this, right? Very quickly and easily. And then you take it off and all your stitches hang out on this really nice stitch holder. And because it's not thread, the stitches don't start to kind of fall against it. So, and when it's time to get your stitches back on, you just connect the tube back onto your needle again, right? And you slide the stitches back on. It's freaking brilliant. Like, this is brilliant as a knitting tool. You can buy certain lengths of this on Etsy, but you know what I did? I went on Amazon and I just got a big old, right? I got a big old like spool of this silicone. It's silicone, hollow tubing. I think it's 2 or 3 millimeters, the opening of it. And yeah, I got a ton of this now. If I want to make more, if I want to make different lengths for stitch holders or what have you, this might be my new favorite type of thing for a stitch holder. Like, it's like paper clips for really small bits. And then this might be my new favorite thing to use as stitch holders, because it just makes getting stitches on and off the needle so easy, because you can just attach it right to the needle. After the live stream, I'll go onto Amazon and I'll find the link to this product that I got, and I'll put a link to it. It'll be an affiliate link, but I'll put a link to it in the description box and in show notes, so that if you're interested, you'll know exactly what I got. Please do a review. Yes, please do a review. I'm going to assume that's Knit Companion. I will do a review. Yes. Bears, so cool. I was just looking at Etsy site in Sacramento that had some of that cord, but a big old spool is even more cool. Yeah. There are places on Etsy that are selling it for knitters, and you know, if you don't want to, like, the nice thing about that is you will like definitely get the size that you need for different needles. But I just like having a big old spool of it myself. But it's very cool, and I'm really liking that. What else was I gonna say? Oh, last thing about this. Did I bring it with me? Yes. I did use my square needles for this project. And guys, I am very pleased. I'm very pleased with my birthday present to myself with my square needles. I thoroughly enjoy working with them. I'm going to do in the next year, God, I'm having all these great ideas for videos right now, guys. I am going to do a review of these. In fact, I think I'm going to do a dedicated video review of just my Addy needles. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a full review of these in the coming year. If I ever finish my show, I have so many videos to shoot. My show will, my working paying gig will end eventually. They all do. They all do. So yeah, that's everything about this finished object. Who knew a little headband? There would be so much to say. Who knew? By the way, it is completely finished. I just have to snip my ends. In fact, let me just do that right now. I'm going to just grab my scissors and snip those ends because I did actually weave in my tails as soon as I was finished with this last night. I am probably going to make a second one for my daughter because she said she wanted one. And Mama would love for us to have matching cabled headbands. So useful in Southern California. But it does get cold, especially at night. Like, we've been getting rain, and let me tell you, it can get chilly. I mean, it's not like upper Midwest cold, but for Los Angeles, it can get cold. It's all relative. All relative. So yeah, this is completely finished. So what's next for me? Well, I need to finish my hat, obviously, and I'm going to do that this week. But I'm going to start my Tunisian crochet project for the Fasten Off Yarn Along. And let me show you, I've already decided what I'm going to work on. I'm very excited for it. I just have to, there we go. Okay. So this is what I'm going to work on next. This is the honeycomb shawl by A Taste of Honey shawl by Knitter Knotter. This is going to be a Tunisian crochet project. It's going to be a honeycomb stitch, which I have not done before in Tunisian crochet. I'm very excited about that. One of the reasons I've decided to make this my next project is because I actually have yarn that this project used for its sample. And I bought this yarn for something that I've just never gotten to. And at this point, it's like, you know what? I'm probably not going to get to it at this point. So why not use the yarn for something else? And that is Karen's Cakes. So I got to pick which one I'm going to use because I got like 3 colors of this. I've got this one, which is blue. This is very, very Hanukkah, you know, and we are like Hanukkah starts on the 18th this year. So this would be very appropriate for me to do. I've got this one, which is blues. This is more teals and what have you. It's nice as well. I don't know. What do you think? This is the light blue or the dark blue? I know what I'm leaning towards, but I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know what you think. Light blue or dark blue. And then I've got this fuzzy Karen cake. This is latte cakes. And I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use, maybe. I don't know. I feel like this is a textured yarn. And I feel like with the fuzzies, and the fuzzies are fun, like the furry bits. But I feel like the furry bits would be in the way of the pattern on the project. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they would be. Show darker blue. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards, Bear. I'm leaning towards the darker blue as well. I just really like that blue. It's so pretty. And it's so appropriate for this time of year for me because I celebrate Hanukkah. Yeah. Yes, this is what I'm leaning towards. So yeah, I'm going to do a Tunisian crochet project. I'm going to do this one. A week from Monday, I'm flying to visit my father-in-law in Miami. So this is probably going to be my travel project, which is a little bigger than normally I would have for a travel project, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Bear. I think that the fuzzies would make the texture pattern hard to see as well. And I think, you know, I kind of feel like usually yarn like this where it has like, you know, textury bits that's more like a novelty yarn. Usually the simpler the stitch, the better. Like probably really just would benefit from like garter stitch or stockinette stitch and just like keep it simple. The pattern, there is a pattern that came with it. Whoops, there we go. I don't know if you can see it. The light's kind of glaring off of the cable, but it's a cabled hat and the cables do sort of like blend into it. Like it's kind of there, but it definitely, the cables definitely don't stand out on the pattern. And then these are shawls, triangle shawls. So yeah, that is so yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. This is calling to me. This is speaking to my heart, and that'll be fun. And I'll get to use up more of my stash because I do try to shop my stash whenever I'm looking at, whenever I'm looking at a new project, I do try to shop my stash first. And then sometimes it's like, well, nothing in my stash is really speaking to me. I guess I have to buy some new yarn. Shucks. Oh no. Oh no. I have to buy more yarn. No. Yes. Yes. Who doesn't love to buy yarn? Buying yarn is its own hobby. We know this as fiber folks. High fiber people know that buying fiber is its own craft. So yeah, that's going to be my next Fasten Off Yarn Along project. And what else I'm going to probably make that other headband for my daughter with the rest of this ball. I think this will be plenty of yarn to do that. So that's kind of the projects I have coming up. And I'm going to finish up my weaving project, which means I get to show you my birthday present. This is the birthday present that I got this year, and it is fiber related. So I got myself, because I always believe in buying my own birthday present as well, a gift for me. And I got my Addie squared interchangeable needles. The other present that I got this year for my birthday is this. It's a stand for my rigid heddle loom. Can't show it live because it's too big, because it's but I assembled it. Like, it was so cute. It was so cute, guys. It was so adorable. I got up this morning. My husband let me sleep in, and as soon as I came out, my daughter was like, "Mommy, here's your present." Like, she wanted me to open the present right away. She had drawn a little picture and attached it to the card envelope, and so cute. So she insisted I open it right away. So I did. Here's my secret. Here's my secret to how I always hint to my husband what I want. I text him a link to where to get what I want and what it is. So I always get, and then I act surprised. That's part of the fun. Part of the fun is acting surprised. Like, oh my God, how did you know? That's part of the fun of it. But anyway, I got the stand. I'm very excited about my stand. I'm really excited because that means that I'm going to be able to weave in my family room with my family, because before, it's a 32-inch loom, 36-inch loom. I forget the exact measurement. But so it's big, it's wide. And that means that before I had the stand, I had to lean the loom against a table. And so I had to weave in my craft room, or I had to sit on the floor in the family room and weave, and that wasn't terribly convenient. So I haven't been able to get a lot of weaving done just because it's like, anyway, now I have my stand. I'm very excited about the stand. I was assembling it this morning before the live stream. It's all set up. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to do more weaving. So yes, that was my birthday present to myself. So yeah, oops, there we go. So yeah, that's my birthday present to myself. So guys, tell me, how are you doing right now? I've talked a lot about myself. I want to ask you, how are you doing right now? Because we are in the thick of the holiday season. And I know this can be a fun, joyful time for people, but I also know it can be a very stressful time for people. And especially right now, because it is 2 weeks away from Christmas. And it's funny because my birthday is it's always 2 weeks away from Christmas. and I feel like it can be a tricky time of year, especially for crafters who are trying to make presents for their families, and you feel like when you're doing that, oh my gosh, am I going to finish it all? And, this time of year, I like to let people know. All right, this is my message to you about it. I like to let people know that it's okay if you don't finish all your gift crafting before the holidays. Like I have Hanukkah starts on the 18th. Like I have a week. And this is actually one of the things that I do to keep my holidays low key is I don't do gift making. Every once in a while I will. Every once in a great while I will decide to do some kind of make for my family. Like people I know will appreciate it. There was one year that I decided to make dishcloths for like my brother, my sister, and my parents, and I just made them 3 dishcloths. And there was one year where I did some beading for everybody, but generally I don't do it. And I don't do it because it's just too stressful. It's just too stressful. I would rather personally enjoy the making process and give it to at some point in the year, you know? Like, because it's fun to receive a gift any time of year. It doesn't have to be at the holidays. And so if you're like feeling overwhelmed and like, oh my gosh, I'm here to tell you it's okay to put it down and not finish it before the holidays. It's okay to say, you know what? I just got a head start on next year's holiday gift making. Or I'll give this to them on their birthday or whatever it is. Like, just take the pressure off of yourself. It's okay. Now, if you're not having any of that and you're really enjoying everything you're making, great. Keep going. Enjoy it. Enjoy this time of year. But it is okay. It is okay not to finish all the gifts. It is okay. Just put it down if you need to. Take the pressure off of yourself. Keep it a low-key holiday. Like, low-key stress holiday. Because, like, it's so easy to get caught up in all the expectations and trying to make everything magical. And, you know, I am a firm believer that magic isn't something you make. Magic is something that happens. It's something that happens in things that are unexpected, that you didn't plan. That those are usually when the magical moments happen. And you kind of have to just have, like, let it go. You just let it all the expectations go and you just roll with everything. That's usually when the magic occurs. So if you are struggling right now during the holidays, it's okay to not finish everything. It's okay to be low key. It's okay. Almost nobody has a picture perfect holiday. Fair. I just got told yesterday that my husband's coworker, Knitworthy, yay, said that if I happened to make another beanie like the one I made him before, he would love it. So I started one last night. Awesome. And you know what? I think so cool that your husband's coworker is knitworthy and appreciates what you're working on. And if it's bringing you joy to make it, that is awesome. That is awesome. You know, I'm making my husband a beanie, the hat. I wasn't planning for it to be a Hanukkah present. I was just planning to make it and give it to him at some point. He's been seeing me work on it, but I'm going to have it done in time for Hanukkah. So it will be a Hanukkah present to him. But that just sort of, that was coincidental. I didn't plan it, but you know, that's me. At the same time, that is totally my attitude about the holidays and gift making and trying to keep everything like no pressure, low pressure. Cause like, I just, you know, was it last year? A while ago, we did a live stream and I talked about joy thieves, right? And, you know, comparison is a thief of joy. And this is something I always struggle with is like comparing myself to what else, people I see doing. Like I see other people doing things and I'm like, it's like, oh, they're so much better, more creative. Why didn't I think of that? What am I doing is so ordinary. And like that just, I really have to work at not doing that to myself. It's all part of sort of imposter syndrome. But another joy thief is expectations, like having just too high expectations for ourselves and not like just enjoying where we are at in the moment. And I think sometimes the holidays can bring a lot of that on. Bears Crochet Critters. He admired my husband's hat and wanted one just like it, but in a different color. He is one rare person I don't mind making for, and it's not a high pressure make. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. That's the thing too. Like I don't, when I do a make for somebody else, I tend to keep it very low pressure. Like, and you know, I always feel like people who are real knit worthy or craft worthy usually like will appreciate almost anything you do. Like if you follow my channel for any amount of time, you know my dishcloth pattern. It's a flat round medallion. It's like the dishcloth my grandmother always made. I now make them. And every time I've given that dishcloth to somebody, they have just been like so appreciative. It always kind of amazes me because to me that project is so like, I don't want to say it's mindless, but it is a mindless make for me because I've done it so many times and it's so low pressure. And I usually make it on when I'm traveling. So if I'm traveling to visit someone, I usually finish it while I'm there and I'm like, here, you want this? You know, but I think the people who are really make worthy or craft worthy just appreciate that you're doing anything for them. And then the people who don't have that attitude aren't the people we need to be making things for, you know? Like, you don't need to be making things for people who aren't going to enjoy it. So, but I admit I am someone who I do very little crafting for other people. Almost everything I make for myself. I don't want to use the term selfish knitter because I really don't like that term. I think that term needs to be banished. It is not selfish to make something for yourself because we are always make worthy and we know what we like. But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, this time of year, people just get really caught up. And I understand why. I'm putting on some like lip oil. My lips are really super dry right now. We've been getting rain, but it has been really super dry in Southern California this year. My lips are like chapped beyond all get out. But I really like this product. If you want to know what it is, it's I'm not affiliated or anything. I just like it. This is from if you like makeup, there is a company called Beauty Buy, and it's kind of a buyer's club for makeup and skincare. And this is their Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil. It's nice. I like it. Anyway, so yeah, at this point, I think I'm going to just show you the rest of the patterns that I bought for the make along, and then we're going to start wrapping things up. Didn't have a whole lot to talk about today. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Before I show you the rest of the patterns that I got for the make along, there is something I want to talk about real quick. Snowing here in NorCal. Oh, nice. You know, it always snows in Los Angeles County. It's just up in the mountains. I see snow on peaks. Just never in the snow, which is perfect for me. I personally do not enjoy snow. But it's nice to visit. Snow is nice to visit and then leave. But can we talk really? I just need to get something off my chest. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have heard about this. But I have recently, I don't know what it is, but there's something in the ether right now where I have seen a couple of videos of people recommending to newer knitters to use knots to join in their yarn. And my internal sensibility just goes, ugh. But then I'm like, am I being judgy? Am I being outdated? I really would like to hear from you what your feelings on knots in knitting are. I know, yes, thank you, Bear. Thank you. No. Okay, I feel better. I know in crochet, knots people can have a different feeling about knots in crochet. I have a very strong feeling that knots in knitting are best avoided whenever possible. Are there times where a knot is appropriate? Sure. But I think those instances are really rare. One that bothered me, though, was like, it was a granny knot. They're like, yeah, they just did a simple granny knot to join two balls together. And I was like, no. So here's why I think knots are best avoided in knitting. One, knots can come undone. Knots can come undone. And if a knot can come undone, it usually will come undone. So it's just like not secure. It's actually not a secure way to manage yarn tails usually. Yes, there is magic knot. Magic knot is more secure, but magic knot can come undone. It can. The other reason is knots have a tendency to work their way to the front of the work. If you can keep the knot to the back, okay, but a lot of times knots work to the front of the work. And nobody wants, well, I should say that. Usually people don't want a knot appearing on the front of a garment or their work. Also knots, if it is a garment, especially if it's a close-fitting garment like gloves or socks or a brim of a hat, a knot is a point of irritation. That little ball just rubbing against your skin can be irritating. If I'm going to use a knot, big if, usually it's either going to involve novelty yarn, or it's going to involve a project like a home good project, like that has a textured pattern to it, but like, you know, a pillowcase or a bag or a towel or a dishcloth. And it's usually going to involve a slippery yarn like cotton, where other techniques may not work as well or aren't even possible. Like you cannot do a split splice or Russian join with a plant-based fiber yarn because the yarn is too slick and it doesn't work. And well, felting requires animal fiber to even work at all. So anyway, but honestly, there's very few circumstances where I think a knot is the way to go, especially because the other join methods, they're really not that complicated. Like some of them are more fiddly. Russian join is fiddly. It is. Split spice works only for certain types of yarn, 100% non-superwash wool. But you can almost never go wrong just dropping your old ball of yarn, picking up the new ball of yarn, knitting, and then weaving the ends in later. That will work 99% of the time, I think. Maybe 98% of the time. I'll go as low as 95% of the time. That will work. Something that will work, I would say 90% of the time, is just holding the old and new yarn double and knitting a few stitches that way. That will work 90% of the time. I don't like it for cotton. I have a whole video about this. I have a whole video. I won't go through the whole thing. I have a whole video where I talk about 5 joins in knitting, and I go over split splice Russian, magic knot, holding your yarn double, and then drop and join. I go over all those. I have a whole video where I go over doing a braided join. There's so many options to join in yarn that does not involve knots. So many. But it's just like, I'm so grateful that I learned how to knit from books and video classes. I'm just really grateful for that because I feel like I wouldn't say I never got bad advice that way. I had, or misleading advice, but rarely was I led wrong learning that way. Anyway, so I had to get that off my chest because it's been weighing on my mind, which just goes to show how obsessed I am with knitting, that something like that has been weighing on my mind. Okay, so let's look at some projects. Let's look at some future projects. Okay, oops. I'm sorry, I'm struggling here with my keyboard. Okay, there we go. All right, so first up is this hat. I ended up buying 3. I think I wrote down, last week I wrote down like 4 or 5 patterns from Woolly Wormhead. I ended up buying 3 of them. This is one of them. This is the annular hat. I really liked this because it was a tam, and I love a tam. Like, I just love, I like a slouchy hat with a large crown, and this just hit all my buttons for what I like. And it's a textured stitch pattern, so I'm really looking forward to that. Let me see if I can make this bigger so you can really see the hat better. I'm really looking forward to working this. This might be my next hat that I make. I think this is probably going to be the next hat that I make. Oh, Bear's writing about, let me see what Bear has to say. Oops, about knots. Going back. Every knot I've ever tied in knitting worked to the front, and I could feel it. So I'm glad I learned how to weave in ends better. Thanks. Oh, thank you, Bear. I'm glad I was able to help with that. Yeah, I have a couple of videos on weaving in ends. Yeah, knots, I just, look, my first project, I didn't know what I was doing. for all of my learning from books and video classes. My first project, I didn't know what I was doing, and I used to not to join into ends. And you know what? It was a mistake. It didn't hold. It's just, oh, no, don't do it. Yarn Works by Lydia Knott. Hi, I'm new to your channel. I just throw yarn in your window. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us today. So yeah, this hat I think is going to be my next hat project. And I have a feeling that next year is going to be my year of making hats. I'm feeling a hat wave come on. It's like every year there's like a certain kind of project that I just gravitate towards. Last year it was fingerless mittens and gloves. This year it was lace shawls. Didn't do a ton of them, but it's what I constantly was wanting to knit. I have another one on my radar that I do want to start. Probably I'll start at the beginning of the year, but I have another lace shawl project that I want to make that I have the yarn for. Next is this hat. It's another hat from Woolly Wormhead that I got. This has traveling twisted stitches, which I love. It is called Aeonium. I don't know if I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. Aeonium by Woolly Wormhead. I mean, really, I feel like her hats, you cannot make a bad decision. You cannot make a bad decision in doing one of her projects. They're so well made and so well constructed and so interesting. She's so, oh, and it's made with Lorna's Laces Shepherd Worsted. I might have some of that. I might have a Lorna Laces worsted yarn that has been sitting in my stash. Oh, yeah. So there's that hat. And then the last hat that I bought was the Golem by Worm. I'm so excited about this hat. I'm going to just zoom in on this so you can see. It's a colorwork hat, and it's robots. It's little robot motifs. I'm so excited about this hat. But I just did a color work hat, so I think no, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to do the first hat that I showed first, which is more of a tam, and then I'll probably go to this hat. But I'm excited about this hat. I'm very excited about this hat because I like little robots. So yeah, those are the projects that I got. There was one other Tunisian crochet project that I did get. Let me just put it up in the window and I'll show it to you. I thought I had put it in there. I got 3 hat patterns and 2 Tunisian crochet patterns this year for the Fasten Off Yarn Along. Come on. It's loading. Here we go. So this is the other Tunisian crochet project that I got. I am excited to do this one as well. This is a lace shawl project, but it's in Tunisian crochet. The designer rated this as intermediate, so this is going to be a chance for me to bump up my Tunisian crochet skills, which I'm always looking to do. Let me know, are you interested in me doing a video on just the basics of how to do Tunisian crochet? Because it really is a fun technique, and it's like Tunisian crochet is where crochet and knitting come together in a beautiful baby. I really enjoy doing Tunisian crochet, and the fun thing with it is it's fast. Working Tunisian crochet is actually faster than knitting or crochet. It is like the fastest way to make up something. So yeah, those are the patterns that I got this year for the Fasten Off Yarn Along. I might get the Tunisian crochet shawl done before the end of the year. It's possible. There's 3 weeks to go. We'll see. But I got at least one project done. If you hadn't seen it already, there we go. I'm going to show it off again. And yeah. So that's it for me. I think that's it for me today. Like I said, I didn't have a ton that I wanted to talk about today, just a little bit. But thank you so much for being here today. So I'm going to start wrapping things up, and sorry, my mind just went squirrel. If you are not already, this is what happens when I don't outline my live stream. I'm like, I'm going to wrap up. Wait, no, I'm going to chat some more. But this is going to be really quick. If you do not already, if you're not on TikTok, I recommend it. But if you are on TikTok, I am now on TikTok, and I'm posting pretty regularly there. Now, probably more regularly than any other platform, because Twitter has gone Twitter. And I mean, look, Twitter was always a cesspool, but it was like my cesspool. And now Twitter is just, but it's, anyway, but in Instagram, it's just, I don't know what it is about Instagram. I just can't, I'm on Instagram, but I never embrace it. I think the thing that annoys me with Instagram is so many people who follow me on Instagram are dudes who are looking to slide into my DMs like it's a dating app. And it's like, I am a happily married woman. Thank you. Please go away. And so I think I get really annoyed with Instagram because it's like, oh, I got a new follower. Oh, it's another dude who is like wanting to hit on me. And no, thank you. No, thank you, sir. Samantha, yes to Tunisian crochet tutorials and tips. Okay, because I do have them. I mean, I'm not as experienced in Tunisian crochet as knitting because I've been doing Tunisian crochet for like 5 years. No, longer than that. I guess I've been doing it for longer than that. Oh my God. It just occurred to me. I've been doing Tunisian crochet for like 10 years probably. I didn't realize it'd been that long. God, time goes so quickly. Like when you're a kid, they tell you that as you get older, time is going to go by faster. And it's not a lie. It does. But anyway, but I've been knitting for like 20 years. Over 20 years now. Because it's my birthday. Today's my birthday. But yeah, I've just been knitting for, you know, a very long time. But I do know how to do Tunisian crochet, and I can definitely do some intro videos on how to do it and some tips on it. I have a way, guys, if you're a knitter, there is a way that we can use some of our knitting skills to start a Tunisian crochet project without doing a chain. Yes. Yes. Guys, think about it. I can do that video. I really want to do that video. I'll tell you right. Well, no, I'm going to save it. I'm saving it. That's right. If you want to find out what I'm talking about, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to do that video next year on how you can start a Tunisian crochet project without having to do a crochet chain. Because I don't know about you, but I hate doing crochet chains. I hate them. When I crochet a regular project, if I can, I will absolutely do a foundation chain instead of doing like a crochet chain and then working into the back humps. I find that so frustrating for whatever reason. But anyway, where was I going with this? See, I went totally off topic. I started TikTok. So I am regularly on TikTok right now. And so yeah, follow me on TikTok if you liked, you know, more daily updates. I show off what I'm doing day to day. I just do funny little, you know, life as a fiber person stuff. It's just cute. And one of the things I'm doing over on TikTok is I'm doing my dice roll granny square project. I showed off the squares my live stream last week. I'm going to be doing a dice roll today for my TikTok because it's my birthday. It's going to be my birthday TikTok. It's going to be my birthday dice roll granny square today. So I'm going to do that. I would do it right now, actually, on the live stream. Should I just? No, I can't do it right now because I don't have my notebook that has my code, my numbers for my colors of yarn. But anyway, if you're interested in that and following along with that project, I'm doing that over on TikTok. So yeah, if you're not following me on TikTok, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I am active in both spaces. And yeah, it's a good time over there. All right, so I am going to wrap things up today. I'm not going for 2 hours. I don't know when doing 2-hour live streams became a thing with me, but it definitely became a thing with me. But we're not doing it today because I'm gonna weave. I'm gonna spend some time with my family and like enjoy my birthday. So yeah, next week I am planning to live stream. Like I said, I'm planning to live stream at least these first 3 weekends in December. But next Sunday, I have a hair appointment at 10 a.m. And that's going to take like 3 or 4 hours because my hair appointments take a little while with doing the pink and everything. And so I'm not going to be able to live stream next Sunday. So my plan right now is to live stream on Saturday. So if you want to hop in on, that's probably going to be my final live stream for the year. And my plan is to do live Crimes Against Fiber. If you remember last year, I did Crimes Against Fiber, a video. And I just, because of everything going on, not sure I'm going to have time to do my usual end of the year wrap up videos that I do and get them up around New Year's. So I'm going to do Crimes Against Fiber live next weekend. I'm going to do probably the live stream on a Saturday. I just haven't decided on what. It probably is going to be around 1 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. But I haven't confirmed that yet. And yeah, that's my plan. We're going to do Crimes Against Fiber live. Should be fun. If you don't know what Crimes Against Fiber is, it's me basically showing like some really horrendous knitting from the fashion world. It's normally from the fashion world. It's also me kind of like we're going to talk about those two guys. It's kind of snarky, but fun, playful. I do not make fun of just everyday hobbyist and independent designers. That is not what it's about. It's really more poking fun at all the non-real non-knitters. And it's like, what are you doing to my craft? Like last year was a lot of fashion, like high-end fashion designers. And I'm like, what are you doing to my craft? Why are you having sweaters with stringy bits just hanging down? Like, what are you doing? Why did you think that? There was one sweater last year. It was a cable sweater. And the designer had literally cut out a hole in the cable sweater, rotated it, and then did like this blue whip stitch around as sort of a visible repair. It was like, that is not how you do it. It was horrendous. I was horrified. So anyway, we're going to do a crime. So yeah, so that is the plan. Next Saturday, doing live Crimes Against Fiber. And yeah, so that is the live stream for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you were here live or if you were watching on replay, please feel free to join the conversation in the comments below. Again, even though we're at the end, there were timestamps down in the description box. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit like, double check that you are subscribed, and hit the notification bell. The notification bell lets you know whenever I start a live stream or upload a new video. Here's the trick of it though. You have to make sure that you have notifications turned on in your YouTube preferences. It's a little tricky. Sometimes notifications work, sometimes they don't, but also follow me on Twitter, TikTok. Hi, baby. I'm almost done. Hi, love. I'll be out in just a minute. Okay. Happy birthday and thank you for the live stream. Yes to Tunisian crocheting Crimes Against Fiber. Thank you, UF. It's out. It's coming. It's coming. Thank you for all the happy birthday wishes. They are so appreciated. And yeah, as always, down in the description box, you will find my affiliate links. If you'd like to help support my channel, you click on affiliate link. It takes you a place where you can do some shopping. If you buy something, I earn a small commission. Any tips I receive from SuperThanks or Buy Me a Coffee or commissions that I get, all get reinvested back into the channel. It helps me buy supplies to review. It helps me buy equipment to help improve my videos and all those good things. So if you utilize any of those things, thank you so much. It is so greatly appreciated. And if you don't, I really am just glad that you're here enjoying my videos. And a great way to always support my channel is, I'm going to say it again, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Comment. Just commenting on a video helps support a channel, believe it or not, because YouTube likes engagement. So Thank you. All right. That is it for me today. Thank you so I already said, I'm going to say it again because I'm always so grateful to all y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have a great week ahead. I hope that as the holiday season progresses, whatever holiday that you celebrate, whether it's Hanukkah like me, Christmas, Diwali, whatever, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful one. I hope this season is full of joy and happiness. And you know what? If you're struggling, that's okay too. It's okay that you're struggling this time of year. You know, our feelings don't follow a calendar. Our feelings follow the rhythm of our heart and soul, and that's what we got to dance to. So if you're struggling this time of year, I just want you to know I see you, and you are not alone, all right? But I hope that you find joy and happiness this time of year. So, all right, that's it. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye.